And this is the location, GitHub, NetRadiant Custom. And over here on the right side, it says releases, and you'll find the latest build. Click on that. This is it. And I'm going to choose the Windows version. So let's download that one to my desktop. Here we have it, uncompressed. And we double click it down here. There it is. This is the NetRadiant executable. Double click it, select your game, return to Castle Wolfenstein, click OK. And here's an important step. We need to find the Steam application. So we click on the button and we go to wherever you put your Steam installation. I have it over here on my D drive. And go into the RealRTCW folder. Make sure you're standing here. RealRTCW Common Steam Apps. That's where you want to be. And then click on OK. The NetRadiant Custom Mapping Level Editor will know where you have your RealRTCW executable. Click OK. And we're up and running. Now you can start mapping. Great stuff. Let's create a room. And that's super simple to create a room. Copy, paste, shift click to select both. Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and then just spin them around by clicking on these rotate buttons. There we go. Now we rotated it. Perfect. And that's how you download and install NetRadiant Custom. And if you want to apply some textures, just down here you have, for example, common textures. We have the cork texture. So shift click and select the brushes and apply the cork texture. There we go. And let's create a floor as well. We need a floor. Oh, this is called the 2D windows. To shift the perspective, I click on Control and Tab. So over here in the 2D window, Control and Tab to shift perspective. And I right click to select and move around. And over here on the window on the right side, which is called the 3D window, I just use my arrow keys to fly around. And we need to create some sort of roof. So we can select the floor, Control C to copy and Control V to paste. Over here, I can press Control Tab to shift the perspective, so I can click and drag. And with the arrow keys, I fly inside my beautiful house. Here we go. How about using the Assault texture? So I press the Control key and I click once on the surface, like so. And then I scroll down and I select nice wall texture. I press S to bring up the surface inspector and I press Fit. Now I'll show you a trick. I'm using the middle mouse button and I press middle mouse button and I click once. There we go. I look at this surface and I press the Shift key and middle mouse button to paste the texture. And for the floor, I'm gonna just use the Control button and click once with my left mouse button. Now I've selected this surface, nothing else, just this surface. So what should we apply? How about this one? And I know what you're thinking, can you copy this and put it on the roof? Yeah, of course. The middle button on your mouse, click once on this surface. Then go up here and press the Shift key and the middle mouse button to paste it over there. Now here in the 2D window, just right click and select, let's see, what's it called? It's called the Info Player Start. Oh, so we need to drag it down a little bit, and I'll use my Control and Tab to switch the perspective to a top-down perspective, and I drag it into the corner like so. Perfect. I think also we need some sort of light. So I'm going to click on this wall one time, and we have the top-down view here. And I'm going to use the Control button and click over here in the 2D window to apply my first cutting point. And then over here on the right side, I just repeat it. Control, and I press the left mouse button. See that? Now it is indicating where the cut will be, but the cut has not been done yet. So we need to press the Enter key to make it happen. So I'm going to use the Shift key together with the Enter key. So we have one part over here and we have one part over here. Let's do it again. Control, left mouse button, Shift and Enter to execute the cut. So now we have 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. We're going to use the one in the middle because over here in the 2D window, I'm going to use Control and Tab to switch the perspective so I see it from the side. This is where the player will spawn, so it sort of indicates the height of the player. The player will be approximately this tall. Select this middle piece and over here in the 2D window, press Control and the mouse button and Shift and Enter to cut. And repeat. We have created a nice little square. So we're going to put some light texture here. So over here in the texture window, we scroll down to lights and double click on lights. And we have so many lights to choose from. How about this one? So I deselect and I press the Control key and my left mouse button to select only this surface. Nothing else, just the surface. And then I click on the light texture. It looks very bad, so I press S on my keyboard to bring up the surface inspector and I click the Fit button. So this texture will hopefully emit some light. So when we spawn into this map, we will see some light over here. Okay, it's time to save the map. And we need a folder called Maps and we put it inside this folder. And we're going to call it New Map. Then we go up to Build and we select, you can choose any one of these actually. Let's take this one at the bottom. Oh, you need to allow that and it takes a couple of seconds and we're done. That's it. Into the new map. Here it is. This, you see it says new map BSP. This is the file that the game engine will read. We don't need these ones. We can throw them away. But we're not going to do that. But we could delete these one because the most important file right at the moment is the one called BSP. So what we do now is we right click, create a zip file. Then we rename it to newmap.pk3. A pk3 file is just a simple zip file with a different ending. Instead of zip, we just call it pk3. We copy this one, go to return to Castle Wolfenstein, and more precisely, we're inside RealRTCW, which is the best mod for this beautiful game. So here is RealRTCW for the Steam apps installation. And inside the main folder, just paste the map here. Here it is. Can you see it? There, new map PK3. That's the map that you and I just created. And we go back into the RealRTCW main folder. We double click the executable to launch RealRTCW. We press the Shift key and the Escape key to open the console. And we type /spdevmap space new map. And we press the Enter key. Click Start. And we're inside the map. I do admit the map is rather small, but nevertheless, it's working. So we press the Shift and Escape key and we type Quit. In summary, you now know how to create a RealRTCW map. This is the final product. So you take this one and you send it to your friends and you tell them, take a look at this map that I created. What do you think? And you get some feedback and you go back into the editor and you add stuff. Over here in the corner, you can, right click and select weapon. Let's add a Sten. Pull it down to the floor. And we build again. We bake the cake. We create a new version of this map. Takes just a few seconds. And we throw away the old version. And we right click, create a zip file, newmap.pk3. We copy it and we go into RealRTCW main and we paste it here. And this time we need to replace the one that we already have here. And we launch RealRTCW /spdevmap space new map. And what do you know? There it is. Now go out and create some beautiful maps. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.